Hi there. That was a hymn tune called Here is Love Deep as the Ocean. And we're using a technique today that really isn't a bluegrass technique, but it's very useful. It's where we're playing one string with the plectrum and one string with our finger. And so we're getting two-part harmony throughout the song. And it's very useful to use it in parts of a song where you want to add a bit of a contrast. So let's listen to the song again and we'll slow it right down and see how to play it. Now we'll begin with the right hand, and first of all the plectrum. I'm holding the plectrum normally between my thumb and my first finger, and I'll be playing one of the strings with that plectrum. The other string I will be playing with this middle finger. So here I'm playing the third string with the plectrum and the first string with my middle finger. And when we try the tune, now you'll notice that I changed the strings there, but my fingers stayed the same distance apart. I'm playing the third and the first string, and then later on I move down to the second and the fourth string. And so what you need to do is to keep your fingers and the plectrum the same distance apart throughout the song. Now your fingernail needs to be long enough to be able to pluck the string properly on that middle finger, and you need to make sure that you pluck with your fingernail loudly enough so that it's not being drowned by the sound of the string that's played with the plectrum, because it's the top note in this particular piece that carries the tune. The bottom note creates the harmony. Now, let's try it again very slowly. And you can see that I'm using a downward pluck with the plectrum and an upward pluck with my middle finger. Let's look closely now at the left hand. Now I'm playing this piece in the key of E major. So I need my first finger on this G sharp here, the first fret on the third string. And I'm playing an open string here, the first string. Watch again very slowly, and watch the way I slide up on some notes. Listen again. Chord of A, back to a chord of E. Putting in an extra note there just to fill in the chord so that we get the impression of the chord of B7th. This bit's pretty much the same, just the ending. Now the second half of the song, we begin here. 4th fret on both the third string and the first string. Now really, my fingers are in the position of the main three chords in the key of E. That's the chord of E. Occasionally the chord of A is used, and the chord of B seventh, which I would normally play in this position. But for this piece, I only really am using the B note there, and then these two notes on the second fret, the third and the first string. Now the second half of the song is more difficult. What you need to know is the notes that are in the key or the scale of E major to be able to play this piece. And because you're playing two notes at a time, you need to know all the frets that we need to use to play in the key of E. So perhaps before you begin this piece you do need to practice your scales, but I'll leave that for someone else to teach you. Now there are quite a number of other songs that would benefit from using this technique. We've already covered this technique in some of my videos, but let's think of a few other songs. There's a modern chorus, or modern hymn tune really, called How Deep the Father's Love for Us. Which starts like that, and that really does sound nice when it's played in this technique. There's a more old-fashioned hymn, let's think. No, I got that slightly wrong, let's try it again. And that's called Trust and Obey. We could play that in a different key. Let's try this technique in the key of C, which reminds me, the tune that perhaps is most famous that uses this technique is one by Simon and Garfunkel. It's called Bookends. You perhaps, if you're as old as I am, you'll remember that one. Back to that hymn tune, Trust and Obey. We can play that in C, like this. But there's lots and lots of pieces we could play in this way. What you need to do is to pick a key and practice. You could pick the key of G, and practice like that. It doesn't have to be just the same two strings each time. We don't have to play, for instance, the third string and the first string. We could use the sixth and the second. Anyway, have fun trying this technique. If you find it a little bit difficult, just persevere. You don't need to use it in every song, but it's very useful if you can master it.